Ah, Perry Tour, quite possibly the most breakaway-friendly of the one-day races referred to as the Sprinter's Classic. And why, pray tell, is an essentially flat race so conducive to breakaway finishes? Well, there's this, and then these things, and a little sidewalk action, and yeah, that was definitely not the line. Add to that the potential for an absolutely blistering pace for the first 200 kilometers, and obstacles as tiny as a railroad bridge can send plenty of riders directly to the back. With a few painfully steep pitches within the final 30 kilometers, it's no wonder the sprinters team struggles so frequently to dictate the terms of this race. Not surprisingly, then, today's early breakaway attracted top caliber talent, most notably Het Nieuwsblad winner Juan Antonio Flecha, and as a result, the peloton kept the 8-man move on a comparatively short leash. As the chase wound up for the catch some 40 kilometers from the finish, notable names, here's Jimmy Casper, began dangling off the back. After doing a bulk of the pacemaking throughout the day, Lotto, riding for 08 and 09 winner Philippe Gilbert, must have been relieved to spring Jurgen Roelandts into a group of pursuers over the Côte de Croix at 30 kilometers to go, but Rabobank was ready and willing to step up and reel the move in. At 17k to go, the race remained largely unchanged, with 4 riders still hanging off the front from the original breakaway. Anticipating the narrowing roads and sharp climbs, Radio Shack's Savoie Lecoq leapt free and bridged to the break, dragging a handful of other riders free with him. Katusha took up the chase behind, but as Lecoq made passionate love to his machine over the Côte de Beau Soleil, neither the peloton nor his fellow breakaways could keep pace. Aided by some tricky bends, more furious surges, and maybe just a touch of moto drafting, Lecoq extended his gap to a truly impressive 33 seconds with 8k to go. Meanwhile, the favorites behind him faltered. Here's Gilbert coasting uphill before pulling off angrily, allegedly due to rival Filippo Pozzato's unwillingness to pull through. Certainly, it wasn't the pace hampering the reigning champion's efforts, as Sepp Van Mark, Matteo Tessato, and a host of other riders attempted to bridge up to the enterprising Frenchman. But as the Radio Shack rider rounded the final bend onto the merciless, dead straight, and slightly uphill finish along the Avenue de Gramont, he still clung to an 18-second advantage. For such an ostensibly sprinter-friendly finish, the peloton has had a world of trouble sealing the deal over the past 15 years. Something that must have been very much on Nicky Terpstra's mind when he launched an 11th-hour attack with 2k to go. But while the previous 230 kilometers had reduced most teams to 2 or 3 riders, there were still enough sprinters represented that the fragmented squads formed something of a lead-out by committee, as Vacansoleil handed off to Liquigas, who handed off to Lotto. The unlucky Lecoq was caught just as Vacansoleil and Lampre launched the sprint in earnest, but Vacansoleil's Romain Feliu could do little against the headwind, and Danilo Hondo briefly surged into the lead. The momentary gap was too much temptation for Robbie McEwen, who dove across 2 lanes of traffic to grab the German's wheel, chopping Oscar Freire in the process. But the canny Spaniard kept his head and kept off the brakes. As Hondo stalled out in the wind, boxing McEwen against the barriers and ushering Lampre teammate Angelo Furlan towards a likely victory, Freire swung around to the right of the dying Feliu and accelerated into Furlan's slipstream. With the trademark late burst that's made fools of riders from Eric Zabel to Paolo Bettini, Freire whipped around Furlan to win by a wheel. Honorable mention goes to third-place finisher Geert Stiegmans, who managed to reclaim some 12 places in the final 200 meters, despite riding all of it alone in what was widely reported to be a fairly withering headwind. But while the Belgian may have had the watts, it was Freire's excellent position and cool head in the closing meters that secured him a win. I'm Cosmo Catalano, and that's how the race was won.